In the heart of ancient India, hidden among sacred temples and whispered prayers, there existed a secret practice known only to the initiated women of the Tantra path. They were said to possess an inner glow so powerful that even kings would bow, not out of desire, but reverence. Their secret was not in what they wore or how they looked. It was in their breath. Each inhalation drew divine energy upward. Each exhalation softened the heart. This was the alchemy of feminine Tantra breathing, a method to awaken Kundalini, the serpent of divine power sleeping at the base of the spine. Today, in our world of constant noise and emotional exhaustion, this sacred art has been forgotten. Yet the truth remains unchanged. Within every woman lies the same source of magnetic attraction, radiant confidence, and unshakable happiness that ancient tantrics once mastered. Science has begun to glimpse what Tantra knew millennia ago. That breath is the bridge between body, mind, and energy. And through this bridge, anyone can awaken their inner goddess. This is not just a breathing technique. It is a remembrance, a calling back to your original power, a journey from ordinary to divine. The problem with modern life is not that we have lost access to pleasure, success, or comfort. It is that we have lost connection to our own energy. We scroll, rush, and perform, but deep down there is a quiet ache, a dull emptiness that whispers, something is missing. Most people today live trapped in their heads, disconnected from their bodies, their breath shallow, their emotions suppressed. Women especially have been taught to hide their sensuality, to trade softness for strength, and to ignore the rhythm of their natural energy flow. The result? Anxiety, burnout, and relationships that feel more like negotiations than dances of love. The body is meant to be a vessel of living energy, a flowing river of sensation and intuition. But when breath becomes mechanical, energy becomes stagnant. The feminine essence, that magnetic, nurturing, creative force, begins to fade. Even though we chase happiness, we find ourselves exhausted, confused, or numb. The solution is not found in doing more, but in returning inward. Tantra reminds us that energy is not something to acquire. It is something to awaken. When you reclaim your breath, you reclaim your power. And through that, life begins to breathe through you again. Long before the word Tantra was misunderstood in the West, it was a sacred science of consciousness born in India, not of indulgence, but of integration. Tantra saw the human being as a microcosm of the universe, a living temple where divine masculine and feminine energies unite. Unlike many traditions that rejected the body as impure or sinful, Tantra revered the body as the most exquisite instrument of awakening. To the Tantrikas, every heartbeat, every breath, every sensation was a thread connecting them to the divine fabric of existence. The essence of feminine Tantra lies in remembrance. Remembering that energy is sacred, that the feminine is power, not weakness, and that love and spirituality are not opposites, but reflections of the same truth. Within this path, breath becomes the key to open what has been dormant for ages. Kundalini Shakti, the coiled serpent of divine potential, resting at the base of the spine. When this energy awakens, it rises through the chakras, cleansing, igniting, and transforming every aspect of one's being. The women who practiced this sacred art did not seek attention or validation. Their glow came from within, a quiet magnetism born from alignment with their life force. This was their secret, and it can be yours too. Modern science is only now beginning to understand what the sages of India knew thousands of years ago. That breath is the master key to our physical and emotional states. Every breath we take carries electrical and biochemical messages that shape our nervous system, hormonal balance, and even our thoughts. When you inhale deeply, the vagus nerve, a major communicator between your brain and body, activates, sending calming signals through your system. This lowers stress hormones, relaxes muscles, and opens the pathways of pleasure and clarity. Shallow, erratic breathing, on the other hand, keeps the body in a constant state of fight or flight. It floods the bloodstream with cortisol and adrenaline, cutting us off from creativity, intuition, and connection. Over time, this tension creates emotional blockages that mirror physical ones. Tight shoulders, clenched jaws, closed hearts. The ancient Tantrikas intuitively understood this link between breath and consciousness. They used rhythmic, mindful breathing to synchronize the body's energy fields with universal energy. Modern research calls it coherence, a state where the heart and brain harmonize, creating measurable waves of peace and focus. So when you breathe consciously, you're not merely inhaling oxygen, you're inhaling awareness itself. You become both the scientist and the experiment of your own awakening. In the spiritual vision of Tantra, Kundalini is not just an energy. She is a living intelligence, the divine feminine herself. Symbolized as a serpent coiled 3.5 times at the base of the spine, she sleeps in silence until awakened by devotion, breath, and awareness. When aroused, she rises upward through the central energy channel, the Sushumna Nadi, illuminating each chakra like a series of inner suns. Her journey upward is the sacred marriage of energy and consciousness, the reunion of Shakti, the feminine creative force, and Shiva, the pure awareness. To awaken Kundalini is not to summon something external, but to remember what you already are. In every woman, she manifests as intuition, sensuality, creativity, and emotional wisdom. When blocked, these gifts turn into confusion, fatigue, or self-doubt. When liberated, they bloom into magnetism, inspiration, and grace. The process is deeply personal. It unfolds differently for everyone. But the language she understands is always the same: breath, movement, and presence. Kundalini is the river of divine power that transforms ordinary existence into living art. She does not demand perfection, only surrender. When you honor her with conscious breath, she rewards you with the taste of your own divinity. Before beginning the feminine Tantra breathing practice, preparation is essential. This is not a mere exercise. It is a sacred ritual of returning to yourself. The body must feel safe, the mind must soften, and the heart must be open enough to receive the current of awakening energy. Find a quiet space where you will not be disturbed. Somewhere dimly lit, perhaps with a candle or gentle incense. The goal is not to escape the world, but to create a sanctuary where your senses can turn inward. Wear loose, comfortable clothing that allows your body to expand freely. Sit on a cushion or yoga mat with your spine straight yet relaxed. Take a few moments to close your eyes and become aware of your natural breath. Feel the weight of your body grounding into the earth beneath you. Let your thoughts drift like clouds. You are not chasing them, only observing them. Set an intention before you begin. It could be as simple as, I choose to awaken my inner energy, or I welcome my feminine power. Intention is the compass that guides the breath. Without it, energy moves without direction. With it, every inhale becomes a prayer, and every exhale a release. Now we begin the feminine Tantra breathing technique, a sacred dance between breath, body, and awareness. Sit comfortably with your spine straight, your hands resting gently on your thighs or over your womb. Close your eyes. Allow your jaw to relax, your shoulders to melt down, and your belly to soften. This is where the divine feminine lives, in softness, not in tension. Inhale deeply through your nose, slowly drawing the breath down into your lower belly. Feel it expand, like a radiant sphere of light. As you inhale, imagine energy rising from the base of your spine upward, like a golden current awakening the serpent of Kundalini. Hold for a brief moment, not in strain, but in reverence. Then exhale gently through your mouth, as if sighing out all heaviness, resistance, and old emotions. Let the breath flow in waves, deep, rhythmic, sensual. You may begin to feel warmth in your spine, tingling in your hands, or a pulsing in your pelvis. These are signs that your energy is beginning to move. Continue this breathing for several minutes, allowing each exhale to release and each inhale to invite more light. As you deepen, you can add a gentle rocking of your hips or subtle movement of the spine, like water rippling through you. The feminine body thrives on motion. It is how energy flows freely. If emotions arise, joy, tears, laughter, let them move. Tantra teaches that nothing is to be suppressed. Everything is energy, and energy is meant to flow. After 10 to 15 minutes, return to natural breathing. Sit in stillness, feeling the vibration in your body. Notice the lightness, the aliveness, the quiet hum within. That is your Shakti, your divine feminine energy, awakened and listening. As the breath deepens and your awareness expands, something subtle begins to happen inside you. The body, once heavy and rigid, starts to feel fluid, as if waves of warmth and electricity move from your base to your crown. This is the awakening of prana, the vital energy that sustains life. You may feel tingling in your fingertips, heat in your lower abdomen, or a spiraling sensation along your spine. These are not random. They are signs that dormant energy is beginning to circulate again. In the feminine Tantra path, this moment is sacred. It is not about control, but surrender. Surrendering to the intelligence of your own life force. You do not force the experience. You allow it. The more you trust, the more the energy unfolds. Some practitioners describe it as a wave of bliss, others as a deep stillness that feels more real than anything they've ever known. At times, you may encounter resistance, tension in the body, old memories surfacing, or emotions rising unexpectedly. Welcome them. Tantra teaches that every blockage is a doorway to liberation. Breathe through it, not around it. When you stay with the sensation, you transform it. As your session continues, the separation between breath and being dissolves. You are no longer breathing. Breath is breathing you. Your mind grows silent, your heart wide open. In that silence, you may glimpse the truth Tantra whispers, that the divine has always lived inside your breath, waiting for your awareness to return. When you finish, sit quietly. Feel gratitude. Feel the current of energy still pulsing through your being. This is the Shakti rising, not as myth, but as living experience. The effects of the feminine Tantra breathing practice unfold like petals over time. Subtle at first, then radiant and undeniable. In the beginning, you may notice simple shifts. A sense of calm after practice, deeper sleep, clearer emotions, a warmth in your body that lingers like sunlight. But as you continue, these ripples become waves. The nervous system begins to reset. Stress hormones decrease while oxytocin and endorphins rise. Your body learns to trust again, to soften without fear. Emotionally, this breathing awakens what has long been buried. You may cry, laugh, tremble, or feel joy for no reason. These are not signs of instability. They are signs of release. Every exhale frees a layer of old conditioning, shame, guilt, anxiety that has weighed upon your energy. As these layers dissolve, you begin to glow. Not metaphorically, but physically. People notice the brightness in your eyes, the grace in your movements, the calm in your presence. Spiritually, your connection deepens. Intuition sharpens. Synchronicities appear. You begin to feel guided, supported, and aligned with something larger than yourself. Relationships transform, not because others change, but because your energy has. You radiate ease, magnetism, and compassion, qualities that naturally draw love and abundance toward you. Most profoundly, you rediscover joy as a natural state. This joy does not depend on achievement, validation, or circumstance. It arises from within, from being fully alive, fully present, and in tune with your own essence. You realize that happiness is not something to chase. It is what remains when energy flows freely. After the awakening begins, the true art lies in integration, bringing the sacred energy you've touched in meditation into the rhythm of everyday life. Tantra was never meant to be confined to temples or rituals. It was designed to be lived. Each breath, each glance, each interaction becomes part of the spiritual practice. The goal is not to remain in an ecstatic trance, but to embody the divine flow while cooking, working, loving, creating, and resting. When you wake in the morning, take 3 conscious breaths before touching your phone or speaking to anyone. Feel your body awaken, the same energy you felt in your practice humming beneath your skin. Throughout the day, pause often. Breathe into your womb or your heart. Feel your feet grounded on the earth. This is how you anchor Shakti in the present moment. If you find yourself stressed or disconnected, return to your breath. A few minutes of slow, deep breathing will remind your nervous system of its natural rhythm. Over time, you'll notice that your presence itself becomes magnetic. People will feel an ease around you. Opportunities will flow naturally. This is the mark of true Tantra, not withdrawal from the world, but luminous participation in it. Integration also means living in harmony with your cycles, resting when your body asks, moving when it calls, expressing when the heart is full. It is a dance between inner awareness and outer action. When breath becomes your constant companion, life itself becomes meditation. You no longer wait for peace. You carry it within you. Attraction and happiness are not goals to chase. They are reflections of your inner energy. The feminine Tantra breathing practice reveals that true magnetism has nothing to do with appearance, status, or effort. It comes from a state of energetic alignment, where your inner and outer worlds vibrate in harmony. When your breath flows freely, your energy radiates effortlessly. People feel drawn to you, not because of what you do, but because of how you make them feel. Calm, alive, seen. In Tantra, attraction is sacred. It is the recognition of the divine within another. When Kundalini rises, it awakens this perception. The boundaries between self and other begin to blur, and what remains is a deep sense of unity. Happiness, then, is no longer dependent on circumstance. It becomes the natural fragrance of your awakened energy. You find joy in simple things: the touch of sunlight, the rhythm of your own breath, the silence between thoughts. This is the deeper meaning of the feminine Tantra path: to live as an embodiment of love, to let your presence heal and inspire without words. When energy flows freely through you, life itself becomes a lover, always reaching, always responding, always reflecting your inner state of grace. You have now glimpsed what the ancient Tantrikas knew, that within every breath lies the doorway to divine power, joy, and connection. The feminine Tantra. Breathing technique is not a secret meant to be hidden in old temples. It is a living gift, waiting for you to reclaim it. When you practice regularly, even for 10 minutes a day, you begin to rewrite the story of your life. You move from exhaustion to vitality, from self-doubt to radiance, from seeking love to becoming love itself. Let this be your invitation. Create a sacred space each day. Light a candle, close your eyes, and let your breath guide you home. The more you practice, the more the world responds to your energy. You will notice synchronicities, deeper relationships, and a happiness that no external achievement can replace. If this teaching has touched you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs to remember their power. Subscribe so you can continue learning the deeper layers of Tantra, breath, and energy awakening. Leave a comment sharing your experience. Your story may awaken another. Remember, the journey has only begun. Breathe deeply, live consciously, and let the divine feminine within you shine without end.